Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to give you an update on my week with my new Dexcom. And so with it, I wanted to give you the pros and cons, kind of walk you through my experience of this week. When I was searching on YouTube channels, some of this information wasn't necessarily always talked about, and so I thought it'd be helpful to kind of give you some of the things that I was looking for when I was Googling what it is like to have a Dexcom for a week. So first off, with insertion, that was probably my biggest things. I had this box for about 2-3 weeks. I had the Freestyle Libre put in at my office at my endocrinologist's office, and it wasn't too bad, but then I wasn't sure how the Dexcom was going to be. That insertion device, if you've ever seen it, looks like a big kind of plastic gun. It looks way more intimidating than the insertion device of the Libre. But what I have really kind of thought it to be, today I put in my second sensor, and the second sensor, I didn't even feel a thing. The first one, it felt pretty much like a pretty bad finger stick for when you're checking your glucose. And so it's not really anything to write home about. It's pretty quick and easy. I thought it was a lot worse than it actually was. I think my mindset was probably way worse than the actual poke of it. It's pretty quick and instantaneous. I have my husband insert it in. I'll probably do a video of that as well. So probably the biggest part is just that anticipation of him pressing the button to insert it. So going through my week with it, there is a lot of great things that I kind of appreciated. So while I thought it looked a little bulkier than the Libre, I actually found this one to be more comfortable. So I inserted it on my arm. I know they say that it's not really set for your arm, so that's definitely something to consider. It is only approved for stomach and then lower back, so that's something to consider. Some folks may have really off readings when they put it anywhere else, so that's just something to kind of keep in mind. For me, it was pretty close and accurate, but I'll get more into that. So I put it in the back of my arm, and didn't even really notice it was there. The Libre I did. This one, I was very comfortable to sleep. The only inconvenience I have is I do have a 1-year-old, and I carried her in my arms, and she thought it was the perfect hold when she was kind of grabbing back onto me. So that is probably my only complaint, is that it was pretty easy for her to grab. I think that's why it ended up coming off a day or two earlier than it was designated to do so, and I think it's really because she was grabbing onto it. And when it kind of snags on anything, it does kind of hurt a little bit. So you are going to kind of pay attention to that or feel that when it happens. But overall, I really liked my experience. What I found in terms of my numbers is that it was accurate at times, and sometimes it made my sugars seem like they were either lower than they actually were. So when I would actually check my glucose with my monitor, I usually found it to be about 10 points difference. So that does make a difference when you do get in the higher ranges, or even before bed. Sometimes I have to go to bed on a higher number, and so it would be kind of one of those things of like, hey, do I need to take a insulin shot, or am I okay to kind of coast on that? So I would sometimes double check it. Sometimes it was 100% perfectly accurate, and then sometimes it was kind of way off, or sometimes I think the highest I ever got was 20 points difference. So that can make a difference on if you're taking insulin versus not, or treating a low versus not. So always check. I think it's easier to just kind of finger prick and say, okay, yeah. They do recommend that you do not calibrate when you are going up or down. So if you are going to calibrate, do it when you wake up in the morning is probably the easiest and best, because then you can kind of keep yourself in sync. But this the G6 does not need calibration from what it says. Other things that I really liked, I loved the convenience. So when it came off yesterday night, I really felt it missing. I didn't realize how often I was actually checking my glucose, but it was so easy to just do it on my phone, click the button, and go from there. So last night I really started to learn how to depend on the alarms with the G6. And that was amazing. So every time you could set your lows and your high parameters, and then an alarm would go off based on that. What's even great is my husband has it on his phone too, and so when I was going low and he wasn't available, I would get a text message from him saying, hey, you're going low, are you treating it? That just adds that secondary safety, so that, I don't know about any of you other diabetics, but for me, it made my life so much easier. I felt safer. It was really reassuring even for, some of my family members as well. I drive quite a bit for my job. And to be able to say, hey, no, my phone's going to go off an alarm if I'm starting to get low, or I can check it really quickly. That just added an extra safety, as opposed to always having to check my blood every time I'm going in and out of my next drive. It was really quick to just kind of check it and go from there. It made my behaviors better. So that was really, really great. Like I said, my biggest complaint is that it did come off early. And again, I think part of that was probably my daughter. I did notice that the sticky adhesive that it comes with was starting to go off about day 5. And then that might be, I had bought these handy dandy. I have not used them yet. Where are they? I have bought these. I'm going to try it this time around. They're G6 waterproof skin covered adhesive bandages. So around day 5, I think I'm going to put this on and see how long it actually will extend the monitor. I want to try to kind of do the non-approved repeat and restart it and see how that works. But we'll see if I actually do that or not. But I thought that might be something that would kind of help, and it might keep it a little bit more sturdy, especially with moving a lot, or if you work out or you have a daughter like me, it might help to kind of keep it closer to your skin. I might try Skin Tack the next time as well. We'll just kind of see where it goes from there. So overall, if you have a G6 and you are waiting in it and have it and want to have it in a box like I did for 2 weeks, go grab it, put it on. It was really worth it. I really felt like it's made my life with diabetes easier. I almost felt more normal just because it was so quick to check. And it was really nice to have that kind of safety thing of the alarms, of having my husband be able to check my sugars at any time. All of that makes a huge difference. It makes your life easier. And as a diabetic, we have a really hard life, so it's really helpful to have this. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments, and I'll see you real soon.